Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So we're back at it again, doing a paid weapon mod review. Today we're checking out the Spec19 laser pistol by Aiden Watts 3D. So in the past I have been quite negative regarding Aiden Watts' creations. I reviewed the medieval sword and the proto cutlass, which were, in my opinion, quite bare bones and not worth the money. I reviewed the LBR-10, which you can check that out. Synopsis was, again, cool weapon, but yeah, kind of. So this is the Spec19 laser pistol. It's got 20 different attachments as well as a selection of fire types configurable, making it a deadly medium range burst fire weapon or a full-on close range machine pistol. Now, we're getting into the semantics here, yes, I know, but it's a laser pistol, not a machine pistol. That's a different weapon entirely. Looking at the model, like, I will say it looks cool. I don't think the mod author may have made this specifically. If they did, there's like a little text there. It says restricted military or government law enforcement use only. Which... I mean, makes sense. I don't know if, like, UCSec and the Freestar Militia, technically they're like a law enforcement, but I don't think they refer to themselves as law enforcement. We're getting pedantic, I know. But let's go check it out. It's 400 credits, so for a single weapon, that's kind of pricey. And from the looks of it, how do we get the weapon? It's crafted at a bench. So yeah, let's go check it out. Alright, so we're in-game. I am on Xbox, so we're going to go and check out the weapon. So the first thing is you craft it, which, straight off the bat, I am not a fan of that because I personally would rather the weapon be added to the load order, the loot system, sorry, so that it can be purchased and found on vendors, or, no, can be purchased and found on, like, NPCs. The fact that it can't be, and it has to be made, makes me think that it just comes across like somebody who isn't fully aware of like how to implement stuff into Starfield, which we know my opinion on stuff like that. I don't like cash grabby stuff. I'm just gonna grab my I don't like cash grab stuff, and I feel like weapon mods are the ones that can be the most egregiously cash grabby because anybody can... Oh crap, I picked up everything. Lovely. Anyone can go and grab a, you know, like a 3D asset and implement it. Well, not implement it, not anyone, obviously, but you know what I mean. So, it doesn't have a picture, which is funny because I have been told by other mod authors that you need to have a picture, an icon. I don't know, that's a weird one. So it requires 1 0 wire, 2 titanium, and 1 nickel. Let's craft it. We're going to craft 1. So we have crafted it. Let's check it out. Spec19 added. So here it is. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So just looking at it straight off the bat, I think it looks pretty cool. I like the shape of it. You know, I like that it's a laser. Where does the bullet or the lasers come out of? I think my one gripe, and weirdly I didn't have a gripe with their other weapon, like physiological weapon. It's just very, the texturing is very plain. And there's like very little, like obviously there's detail on it. Hopefully there's skin, so it's restricted. Laserspec.inc. I have no idea who that is. I'm assuming, like, here's the thing. If the mod author made this, which they very well might have, but if you were going to make it and you added these little features, you would surely put like an in-game manufacturer, like oh, what are the guys that make the Nova? It's like Arboran Systems and stuff like that. I will say, regardless, it looks quite cool. Let's, stat-wise, it fires 1.5 kV lasers, 16 in the mag, 27 damage, 30 rounds, 67 fire rate, 30 range, 67 accuracy, 1.5 mass. Oh, I think I see something already, so we might have some improvements. All right, so let's take a look at it. Fire. So for all intents and purposes, it is the Solstice. All right, so the mod author has reused the Solstice animation, which, credit to them, it matches up. It looks a bit funky because when it pulls out fine. When he pushes it down, it kind of looks like he's inserting it into something that's not there, so it's like very steady. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is going to be just the Solstice pistol. Now, he's probably modified the stats. Let's go check out the specs on the weapon. So we've got standard, refined, tuned. All right, so... All right, when the mod author says that there's various attachments, right? You'd expect the attachments to do something. So we've got refined barrel, which increases your accuracy and your mag. And range. Then we've got the refined rapid barrel, increases the fire rate to 88, decreases the mag. Standard barrel is 16, tuned barrel. We'll do 22. Optic, it's got an aim pro reflex sight and a beam point reflex sight. So 2 different reflex sight. We'll go check them out. Is it aim pro a legitimate company? So, okay. Let's check the other one. Bum, 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 bum. All right, this is the beam point. So they've actually, I think there's like a play on words. So aim point is a manufacturer that makes sights. So I'm assuming they've went with Aim Pro and Beam Point as opposed to... Which is, you know, fine. That's kind of why, like, GTA does that with their cars. So, I don't know if it's where I'm holding it. I'd have to check. Do we have any smaller weapons? Do I have any pistols on me? It seems quite far away. Just looking at it, it's... Now, whilst I've kind of used a pistol mod, it works though, we can't complain. Alright, so next we're going to check out the muzzle. We can have a focus lens, focus nozzle, or stealth lasers. We're going to do focus, increase the damage. Grip and stock, standard or tactical. Oh, there does seem to be some change there. Does it? Oh, it actually, oh wow, well, you got an actual grip. We've got standard battery, ignition, and EMs. We're going to do ignition. Internal, we've got an amplifier, overclocked or precision. Amplifier just increases the damage. And then receiver, we've got 2 burst, 3 burst, fully auto, semi-auto. I'm going to do 3-round burst. That sounds kind of cool. And then skin, we've got default skin. Rarity, so we do have different rarities, which I like seeing, but at the same time... See, like, I'm gonna keep reviewing these weapons because I want to bring attention to them. Like, I think at a basis, this weapon looks cool, and if you were to make it, like, to be completely honest, right? If you were to make the skin color look a bit like, if it had a white skin, it could definitely fit in with Arborin, like, if they were working on, like, a kind of a compact, like, personal defense weapon and stuff. But the issue is, one, it's not in the loot system, the level system, which means, one, it's not going to have like your normal, like the fact that you have to bump it up to advanced is kind of like, what's going on here? You know, also there's more than advanced. I believe there's not supposed to be 5. Actually I can test. Hold on, now what is mine? Calibrated. Oh no, okay, it is. Is there? No, it's 5 is the other one. So it just, yeah, like, I feel like if the mod author, we're gonna go test it out here, but like, if the mod author was to, if they were to have this in the loot pool, give it like an actual custom look skin-wise and stuff, and it actually had like a tier system, and for all intents and purposes, was no different than the vanilla weapons in-game, I could get behind it for maybe a lower price, but it just, at its current case, it's a pistol, right? That ultimately, pistols are sidearm weapons. If you're playing on a lower difficulty, you know, like, you might be able to get away with, like, using them and stuff. On a higher difficulty, it is just going to be a sidearm weapon. What am I firing? What are they? 1.5 kV. Yeah, so it's just, even if everything, like, if it functioned like a normal weapon, I would never recommend paying 400 for a pistol, especially a pistol that has no skins. No, the only thing that changes with it is the grip and 2 sights that, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our usual spot and test out on the normal difficulty, see how she performs. We'll be right back. Alright, here we are. So just remember, we're on Xbox, we're playing on normal difficulty. I do not have any weapon perks, I don't believe. Do I have weapon perks? Nope, no weapon perks whatsoever, so it's going to be flat damage. Let's see how it goes. Oh. Let me know. Okay. Okay, so on normal difficulty against these, no, don't blow. Whatever. Testing it because it was like kicking randomly. There we go. Let's Cora. No one shoot her. As always with a lot of these pistols, the damage isn't too bad. I'm going for headshots will obviously do more damage if we have the specific perks. It is kind of hard to aim it because the recoil seems a bit... Recoil's a little bit finicky. Let me try range on. Okay. I think it's easier close range. So the initial... Let me see. So it's weird. So your initial burst, this isn't 2 bursts, right? Or 3 bursts. So the initial burst, if you basically fire, let go of the trigger, fire, let go of the trigger, fire, let go of the trigger, there's like no recoil. However, if you try and rapid fire, even though the fire rate tends to be the same, it kicks quite a lot, which is kind of a weird one. Because usually with like a burst fire weapon, you fire as, you know, as soon as you can. I don't know if that's like a design choice or the mod author was tweaking something, but yeah, you don't want to spam fire this. You want to let it kind of resettle, which that's kind of normally a rule with most weapons. So if you let it resettle, it actually is quite an accurate weapon. Now if I try and spam fire it, yeah, you try and spam fire it, it dances all over the place. Yeah, I'm actually like I'm very torn with this weapon because put it in the game like properly with the proper level system and like a tiering system, give it a nice coat of like, you know, give it some skins, a nice white skin with an Arborin logo on it, and maybe drop the price down 200 credits and you would have my seal of approval because I think it's a cool weapon. But the mod author is going to not do that because I'm going to assume they're just in to make a quick buck. Now, they may not be, but again, I'm only going off of what information the mod author has given me by, you know, looking at the mod. And the fact that it's not in the loot pool, it doesn't have a tier system, and it can't be found in the world and has to be crafted in a workbench just kind of tells me all I need to know. Which is kind of sad, Because, like, a lot of these instances of, like, people trying to cash grab, if they just kind of put a little bit more effort in, they have very passable concepts and ideas, you know? Because the thing is, but I'm all about lore. Now, someone might look at this and be completely content with it being 400 credits, and given it works, no issues, stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. Like, these videos are ultimately an opinion piece. I'm here to kind of give you guys a review of the gun, give my opinion, but ultimately, you're watching this. Some of you guys are just watching to see how it performs, you know? You might be like, I don't care about your opinion, Crimson. I just want to see what the gun looks like, which that's perfectly fine. Thank you for watching my content regardless. But yeah, it's just... I could definitely see myself rocking this gun. I always like the, I like the kind of the compact, like, concealed carry kind of weapons. Very cool. Who knows, maybe the mod author might see this video and decide, you know what? Crimson's right. I'm gonna work on this a little bit better, give you guys what you truly deserve. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a short video, obviously, but let me know what you guys think. Like, at its current price point and kind of what you get, you know. Are you content with it? Do you mind paying 400 credits? Are you kind of in the same boat as me? Where, you know, if it was a little bit lower price, would you buy it? Or are you kind of more on the end of you wanted more to fit into the lore of the game? Because I think that's quite, both sides are quite valid. Some people want value for money in kind of, you know, it's a pistol. It's going to be used on lower difficulties, or it's going to be a sidearm. You know, I want it to be cheap because it's not going to be my primary weapon. Or you have the people who are like, it's a pistol, but it fits in the game, lore-wise. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.